Good morning. Welcome to Sugarheads Live. Um, I'm just watching some stuff in the background. Yeah. Um, Today's topic is Jamie Foxx, one of our great, great actors, singers, comedian, you name it, he does it. Um, and he's being targeted. We are being targeted. Now, the this is an insider thing. So, insider meaning people within certain clubs, industries, or what have you. The outside world is not going to believe us, but those people that's inside, what's happening because it's happening to you. First of all, my name is Sugar, and why this is important, the Jamie Foxx situation, is because he was targeted. He was targeted by a family of people, Spanish, and their names. The main person name is Joseph Reyes. He lives at 2 Matthews Place, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. And he lives there, well, now by himself, but he used to live there with his sister, his mom, his brother-in-law, his ex-wife, and children. Him and his ex-wife broke up. She took the kids. And now, but the family is an organization. His mother, um, his mother. I'm gonna start the story off. Years ago, somebody bought this complex. It's a It's a complex because at that time, Canarsie, nobody wanted to move into Canarsie. So this person and this corporation started buying property in Canarsie. So the person and the corporation gave a person of Spanish descent to manage the areas in Canarsie. And what happened was that person deliberately let the houses go into foreclosure. Why? Because she and he, it was a husband and wife team, he and she wanted their family to own the property because, if it's going foreclosure, they can buy it or whatever. But their thing was that if it goes in foreclosure, you just move in and after a couple of years claim it. And that's what these people did. Now they have children and they have families. And Mr. Reyes' mom didn't tell him, so he tells me. His mom didn't tell him what was going on. His mom moved out, supposedly left the house to him. And then he finds out that he has to move because the owner of the complex found out what's going on. He didn't know that his complex went into foreclosure because he has a lot of property. His company has a lot of property. And these were his friends that he put into in charge. These were his friends. And they never told him what was going on. So needless to say, everybody in the complex is fighting for the property that they just moved into and claimed it. Me, on the other hand, I'm new to the area. I've been here 10 years, but that's considered new. That's considered new because I purchased mine from a real estate broker. What the real estate broker didn't tell me that he broke my property into two, but he still had me paying for the whole property. Ergo, my neighbor. Um, the the it wasn't a house. It was an office because this was the main house and next door was the office. One flight, and he used to hold his office over there. So he used to think his office over there, and it had, he used to walk through and whatever. So while they was fixing up my house for me to move in, I mean, before I even purchased the house, they fixed it up to sell it, and I so happened to buy it. So while they was fixing up the house, the next door neighbor who was living down the block threatened threatened the broker and threatened the what do you call it? The broker and the guys, the contractor. He threatened the contractor and he threatened the broker. How he did that? And not only that, the broker's assistant was in on it because she was Jamaican. So so anyway, so they showed me the property and everything like that, and the next thing you know, a gate went up. Uh, um, uh, yeah, a gate went up in the middle of the property, and they didn't tell me anything, you know. And then later on, I found out that I was paying for two properties and whatever. So, I tried to find out what's going on, but Mr. Reyes and some of the rest of the people have connections. And long story short, somebody in the building department switched everything. And Mr. Reyes' mom has a child for an ex-cop who used to work for John Gotti. So there goes the terrorization. So for years, they worked for Mr. Gotti and his family and whatever. How I know, I spoke to the daughter. What's that? Victoria. Because when he was giving me trouble and everything, I contacted her because he kept pushing them her name and whatever, because he was using her as support because so I'd be scared and not go after him. But you know, not much scares me. So I said, okay, sink or swim. I'm gonna speak to Miss Gotti and ask her myself what's going on. And she did answer me, and she said she has nothing to do with it. Her family no longer deals with that family, and they're on their own, and she doesn't know what's going on. And I take her word for it. Then, about a year later, he was still claiming the Gottis. Then he was saying the brother and then the sons, and she said no. My family has nothing to do with that family. You understand? So then I started getting people to help me or whatever. So he started going from place to place to place to get help. And that's what he's doing now. And that's what I was telling you, stars, that you think you're helping him, but you're hurting the very people that you work with. So, you know, he's working with Dame Dash. He's working with, you know, Puffy's working with DJ Envy. He's working with the girl who used to, Angela Yee, and in particular, he's working inside the Spanish clique. So, and no offense to the Spanish people, but he's using his background to get sympathy, because what he's saying is, oh, they don't like Spanish people, they don't like this kind of person, just to get your sympathy, or they don't like Jamaicans, like in her case, or Haitian, like in their case. And I found out that he's related to some Grenadian star, St. Vincent, called Fabulous. Not our Fabulous. I'm talking about some soca artists. He's involved. What they do, they use animals, because his wife is Indian, the couple to the right of me in the house that's not their house, and Mr. Reyes and family, his sister is married to an Indian guy, and they deal with animals. And if you don't know, India is a country that has a lot of problems with animals, but they worship animals. So, and they grow up with animals like it's nothing, so they're used to all that. So anyway, they use the animals, the raccoons, because when I came here, I didn't know that. And then about a couple of months later, I'm trying to get in my door, and there's a raccoon on my roof. So, you know, I got scared and everything, and all the neighbors stood around laughing. Not laughing hard, but they was laughing because they knew where this animal came from. It came from the neighbors, because they grew up. raising these animals. I didn't know. I thought it came from the park somewhere, and so it happened to come on my thing. And for months, he terrorized me with the thing. They went up on my roof, made a hole in my roof, and put a mother that was expecting in my roof. Now, I don't know if you know about raccoons, but you can't go around their children. When you go around their children, they attack you. You understand? So don't ever go try to pet their children or their babies or anything. They will attack you. So anyway, so finally they went back into the thing. I ran inside. I called um I called 911 or something. They told me that I have to, if it didn't try to attack me, which it didn't. It was still on the roof. Only if they try to attack you, you can call. So anyway, they was using this for months, and I didn't know. So I called one of those pet exterminators to catch it. Do you know that they used? Do you know? Later on, I found out. Do you know that they used the same cage and everything that guy used? Oh, it was a whole setup so they can make money off of me. Because even though he didn't catch it, because the raccoon would not go, because he put the wrong food in the cage. He put in food that would smell, and raccoons don't eat sardines and tuna and all that. He told me that's what they use, but raccoons and stuff eat nuts and berries and stuff like that. So, but he put this stuff to smell inside the cage, and the raccoon just used to pass by it. Every night I would hear it crawling down, because when it goes dark, every night I would hear him crawling down my thing, and you would hear scrapes on my door, and then he would be walking, and then he'd go feed for a couple of hours and bring food back for the kids, or she. That went on for months, and then later on somebody came and removed it and closed down the hole. Now, I don't know if you know this, but a hole like this small, a big fat raccoon can fit in a hole this small. I didn't believe it until I saw it. The raccoon can be fat like this, but he fits in a hole this small. How I see it, because when the carpenter came, the carpenter said, when he leaves or when she leaves, call us and we'll come and close the hole. But lo and behold, they didn't know 2 babies were stuck down there. So they closed the hole. I called them. I said, okay, it's 6:30. I just heard it leave. I saw it because when I heard the scraping on the door, I opened my window and I saw it walk down the things. I said, okay, I called the guy. And then within about a half an hour, they came. They climbed up on the roof. They put on stuff on the roof. They closed down the hole. Boom, boom, boom. They thought everything was good. They was getting ready to pack up. So the raccoon came back. I was inside. They was outside. Came back and couldn't get into the hole. Oh my God. All night. Holy hell. That raccoon screamed and screamed and screamed and pulled and pulled and pulled and tore my roof open again. Yes, it did. And got the 2 babies out and then left. And it was gone for about a couple of years. You understand? I thought, but I didn't know it was right next door. I swear. I still didn't know that he raised raccoon. And I didn't even know he was a supervisor in the post office, because my mail started missing. And that's another story. So anyway, and his brother-in-law, Mr. Reyes' brother-in-law, also is into stuff like that. And plus, he's Indian, so he knows where to get it. And plus, what he does, he's into surveillance. So he gets these little tiny cameras and put it in my backyard. Then they snuck in my house when I left, because when you leave, they break into your house, and they start setting up cameras. When you order phones or computers and stuff, thinking that it's coming, they intercept your phones and they intercept all your electronics and they download stuff. How I know it happened? So, excuse me. How I know it happened to me. So then Now every time I do something, excuse me, every time I do something, they see me. So before this video ends, get new phones. But you guys can't get it yourself. You have to ask somebody on the low and to get new phones, new electronics, new computer, everything until you can get whatever is on your stuff now erased. Because let me tell you, even if you have like if you have an iPhone or whatever, and you thinking that you're going to Apple to get everything erased, they already know where you're going, so they call somebody at Apple, or they have you in. Did you see the thing where not yesterday, a couple of days ago, today's Saturday, the 22nd of April. Did you see a couple of days ago that a call center in Dubai was everybody was arrested? Then they put you in a call center. So that's what I'm in now. Every time I think I'm calling somebody or calling a company, I'm speaking to one of them because of the stuff they download on your phone. No matter what phone you have, it could be Samsung, it could be thing. They already intercepted your phone. So they already downloaded all your stuff. You understand? So you think, and never hand your phone over to anybody, because even if I go to T-Mobile, they already got somebody set up because they see where you're going. So what you have to do, all the tracking stuff, you have to check your car, or you people who have money. You understand? You have to get your car checked. You have to get your house checked. And that's not just a one-time thing. You got to do this every week from now on until we can conquer these people. Get your car checked just like a president would. I'm telling you, you have to start doing presidential kind of surveillance on your house and your home and your phones and your electronics. These people survive on that. Then what happened is they go into your contacts and they start stalking the people in your contacts. Don't ask PD to help you, because I live around the 69th precinct. So they had to get something on me so the cops in the 69th precinct would believe them. So what they said, oh, I'm bothering their 4-year-old. Meanwhile, somebody told me, he was 5 at the time. Meanwhile, somebody told me that the 5-year-old came through my window, and the parents was the lookout. And how I know, they had pictures and what have you. And that 5-year-old was hiding in my dryer. That's the second time. The first time, he was hiding under my bed in my spare bedroom. Because when I go in my room, I close my door, watch TV, blah, blah, blah. When it's late, I go in my room, close my door, and I just watch TV. He was hiding in the other room because they jimmied my window, and I didn't know. So they put him through the window. He was hiding under the bed. But I kept hearing something because he was a 5-year-old. But he kept quiet. So I didn't know if it was just me hearing the house thing, settling or whatever. Yeah. The second time, he was hiding in my dryer. He was hiding in my dryer. And and that's the 5-year-old. And that's the sister's son. And Mr. Reyes' son, who's older than that, I think he's about, 14 now, but I've been around here 10 years, so he was around, 6, 7 when he started breaking into. Yeah, that's what they do. Then I didn't know that they cut my window. They cut my whole frame, not the window. They cut the frame around the window and put it back in. You understand? So if I'm sleeping or gone, because I started changing my locks. Because when I come in my house would be funny. It would be fleas. Because the cops now want to search. So they came with the dogs when I wasn't here. So every time I leave the house, I have to disinfect my house. After that one time I found, the stuff in my thing. So I'm like, okay. So They had to tell the superior or the superior something terrible about you and something terrible about me to get a search warrant, to get surveillance. You understand? And this is what they do. Oh, she's laundering money. Oh, she's a drug dealer. Oh, and all these things they're saying about you is what they're doing. Because when they see that you're making money on something, they track down whatever, excuse me, I don't want, because every time my eyes water something. Whatever they see you making money in, they go after it. Like, why my store is not set up? Because every time I go into these places, the wholesalers, and I pick out all the stuff that I want, they're seeing what I'm doing on my phone. They're seeing what I'm doing on my iPad. So what happened is they go and call the vendors and they call the this. They not telling NYPD they not telling NYPD brass that they are using their badge and the public's money so their family can make money. You understand? I was supposed to buy a house in Maryland. Guess who bought the house under me? Guess. NYPD and Mr. Reyes' family. Yeah. They, all four of them, got together, put their money in, and bought the house I was supposed to buy. Every business that they see that I'm doing, like this finance business, they trying to find out. They're not gonna find out nothing. I'm trying to open my agency. They see me thinging with the girls and whatever. They trying to find the girls so they can lock them in the closet, because that's what they do. They kidnap the women and the men, lock them in a room somewhere, and then they have they gang member friends watch the door. So they 24 hours a day, these people are locked in. If a girl want to do whatever she want to do, just talk to her and she'll do it. Let her think. But they don't want that. They want all the money. So they kidnap these people. They take over their lives. They act as what's that thing when foreign exchange students come here to go to school? Yeah, next door. They supposed to be a family, or was. They were supposed to be a family that had foreign exchange students come live with them so they can go to school. Soon as the child landed, they took their passport, they took everything, and started pimping the child out, and started putting the child to go thing drugs or whatever. How I know? One time I went to get something for my car up the block. I forgot the name. It's a AutoZone. I went to AutoZone up the block. And they heard me going to AutoZone. They do some, let me tell you, these people, they do some crazy shit. You see that Haitian girl over there? She's going to get a bad one when she gets in jail, because she swears she is the fucking baddest. She swears she is the fucking baddest. She is the worst thing ever. She needs to go in jail. But anyway, they fucked up my thing my battery, so I can, because every time I come home and I leave my car home, if I go riding with my cousin or whatever, if you're aware of surroundings, you know what's going on. So every time I come home and I have to go in front of my car to get on top of my pavement to get in my house, I see a whole bunch of garbage around my car. I get in my car, I go in my car, open my car, my seats pushed back, I gotta adjust my windows, all kinds of stuff. You understand? So they made a key to the car. They made a key to the house. They do all kinds of stuff. Let me get back to the Haitian girl, but you know. So my battery went out, and sorry, excuse me. My battery went out, so I went to AutoZone. Usually I would go to the Benz shop, but I didn't feel like going to Benz shop or thing. So I went to the battery store and I asked them. Somebody said, "Oh, you can just get it charged up." So when I went to AutoZone, the Jamaican guy said, no, you can't charge it up. You got to buy, a whole new battery. I said, okay. Oh, we got to order the battery. You know what he did, that Jamaican manager? He charged up my battery and he ordered a battery for her car, or one of their cars. When I went to pick it up, the young man was there acting like he worked in AutoZone. The young man that they kidnapped. And the Jamaican guy told him, the Jamaican manager told him to put the battery in my car. So at first I wasn't putting two and two together. I didn't know all this. You understand? I found out later. So while the young man was putting in my thing, he said, Miss, he said, can you help me? He said, I just came up here for school and they got me locked in. And when they saw us talking, and I'm like, who? He said, I don't know what's going on. They took all my papers and blah, 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 blah. He was Trini. You understand? So I understood he was Trini because I'm Trini. And he was trying to tell me to help him or whatever. And when they saw us talking, the manager came out and told him, oh, I'll do it. And after that, that was it. And I went to the store because at that time I still wasn't thing. And then I realized what has happened to whatever. So I called the rescue children thing, the people who be going after people who've been kidnapped and stuff like that. But I haven't seen him ever since. I think I seen him a couple of months after. But after that day, I didn't see him. He was telling me that he was kidnapped, and he was telling me all his business and stuff like that. So I asked him his name. I said, do you have a phone? Everything. And he's like, no, I don't have a phone. And he didn't tell me his name. I think he was about to, but he didn't. But he was trying to get his story out real quick before, So he was in a haste. So he, I guess he, in his haste to tell me the story so I can believe him, he forgot to tell me his name. But I called and I told him, who it was or whatever. And I called the people and I told them to please investigate these people around here. At first I just thought it was dumb at 4 Matthews Place, but it's all of them. It's all of them. It's 2 Matthews, 4 Matthews, 7 Matthews, 8 Matthews, 14 Matthews, 9 Matthews. 9 Matthews is where the cops keep their drugs, where DJ Envy and his family be keeping their drugs. So, it's like, why I keep calling his name? Because as soon as his family moved on the block, they started attacking me. I'm like, who the fuck? And I didn't know he was involved. Like, who the fuck is this? You understand? And why is he coming after me? I ordered some stuff. Some company sent me some stuff to try out. Never got it. They took it. Then one day I called something. I think I called National Grid or something, and he said he got to come take a survey of the house. When that man was walking around my house, he was saying, oh, this fridge looked like mine. This looked like mine. So I said, what, you going shopping in my house? Because, I'm astute. I know when somebody's being slick-mouthed. So I said, I don't think that, I want you to continue. You can leave. And easier said than, he laughed, but what I'm saying is, a couple of months later, my fridge was exchanged. How I know? Because I just got it every couple of months. I'm brand new fridge. I got to get it fixed. But what they were doing, they were looking for old stuff, to put it in place so they can take your brand new appliances. So that's why the fucking cops can have the fucking audacity to ask you, well, is anything missing? Because it looks like yours, but it's not yours. They just go hunting for something that looks exactly like yours. That's not as in good condition as yours. So they changed my stove, my microwave, my fridge, brand new. Brand new. They changed it. They changed my water heater. Brand fucking new. I heard the guy who put it in took it out because he started fucking the Jamaican across the street because he's Jamaican. So he put it in to make it look good. And then when I went out, he came back and he took it out. Then, of course, my fucking boiler. So anyway, I tell you this to tell you, they after the money. They after whatever you're making because they seeing you making your deals on the phone. They seeing you coming up with your ideas. How you think Dame Dash came up with the sneaker shit? Because he saw me looking into my brand sneakers. Come on, turn. He saw me looking into sneakers. He saw somebody doing something. You understand? With their business. So when you invest your time researching these companies like me, I invest my time researching these companies. They call these companies. Then you know what they do? They go on my Facebook, my Facebook store, because it's not on Instagram yet, because they're trying to block me. They're doing all kinds of stuff so they can get all the calls. When I go into my Facebook Market store, they would send me a text. Do you have this? So then I'll go on the internet and can't find it. Why? Because they see the vendor that I was dealing with. Because Angela Yee was doing that. Angela Yee knew I got up every morning early. Her and Envy got something on my phone. So they would see me thinking through my phone. So when she see me with a vendor, she would call. I don't know what country she's from, but she would call. But Reyes and Hutchinson, because they got the Indian family, they would call somebody in India, or they would call one of their families and say, "Oh, let's contact this company and try to get this and try to get that, blah 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 blah." If they can't do it, they call some bigwig in India, and the Indian guy go, or the female, mostly guy, go and buy out the company in a matter of days or months. That's what Angela Yee and all these guys and stuff was doing. So I contacted her, and I'm like, "Listen, Miss Yee, if you like my style or whatever the case may be, pay me. I would look for stuff for you, but don't stalk me." And I said, "You got the fucking audacity to go and get the vendor that I'm dealing with. Then you want to cock block me. Now, this is a free market. I don't care who goes by what. I don't like the way you're finding out, but I don't care if you go to the vendor. But don't fucking cock block me. Don't do that." And that's what they're doing. Not to me, to you, to everybody. To every fucking body. So when they saw me, because I don't call my cousins and them for nothing. I always dealt with situations myself. So I had an issue here. So I called my cousin. The next thing I know, my cousin's telling me that his son is being harassed, being threatened. First they were threatening him, and my cousin ain't afraid of nobody. Then they said, "Okay, you're not afraid, but we're going to get your son." And that's what they do. They go complain, saying you're terrorizing their kid or you're threatening their kid. But that's the first thing comes out their mouth. First thing. So then PD, they in on it because they getting, because they family. Because DJ Envy got family in PD, or I heard transit, any cop industry, any officer industry, corrections, any officer industry. All of them, they using all their connections. Now it became a lot of Spanish officers coming down, and then the Indian officers coming down. And I think I put a couple of pictures on them or whatever, So when I go to the store, the Jamaicans who work in the store, so they utilizing all their people. Like right now, I went to Kings County Hospital. All the Haitians is blocking me from going into Kings County Hospital. "Oh, we don't have an appointment on that day. Right now we full because I'm in a lawsuit with them. I'm suing them." You understand? So the Haitians in Kings County Hospital is blocking all my thing. I'm telling you my plight so you can understand what you're going through. You understand? This is what they're doing. They look in your contact list. They see who you're dealing with. They go harass your family. They go threaten your family. And if your family don't back down, they threaten people's children. Here goes Jamie Foxx. Now, Jamie Foxx is in the entertainment business. He does a lot of parties. He does a lot of movies and whatever side gig he does. So he just picked it. Garcelle Bouvet was dealing with the Haitians over there. I mean, trickle down. Kareem Burks is Haitian. So all of them, hey, let me tell you about the Haitian community. They stick together no matter what because they're arrogant. Why? Because they speak French. A lot of people take Spanish. So their clique is unbreakable. They're worse than the mafia. If you want to get into the Haitian clique, they got to know your family from Haiti. They don't care if you're Haitian. You better have a background in Haiti so they can check the family. That's how Haitians barely get caught in whatever they do. Because they stick together like, even if they not in the clique, and somebody come and say, oh, blah, 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 you understand? They back the Haitian. So that's what happened. They're very arrogant because they speak French and they feel nobody can understand them. Guess what? For some reason, in high school and in college, I took French instead of Spanish. Go figure. Why? Everybody used to ask me, why are you taking French? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, everybody taking Spanish. I'm going to take French. You understand? So they're very arrogant. But their clique is strong. You hear me? It's hard to penetrate the Haitian community. And that chick over there, she is doing a lot of shit with y'all credit cards. Because she's working for the clique and she's working for Reyes and his family. You understand? All of them. Because they're in one clique now because all of them is losing their house. So they're all working together. You understand? Say, for instance, like that Jamaican lady. Her sister-in-law. I sent a picture out with a bald guy with a white truck, and he's pointing at me. That's her brother. He was threatening me because I was snapping his picture. Because every time I thing, he's always connecting her to my cameras or connecting her to my lights. That's why I'm in darkness now. All of them is in darkness because all of them want to be connected to my lights. So every time he comes up, I didn't even know that was his brother. One day, how I found out? For years, I'm seeing him back and forth. Never knew that was her brother. So one day, I went outside. I saw him pull up, and I took off my lights. I saw him pull up, so I went outside to get the front of the van so I can get his plates. Because I'm always getting the side. You understand? I never get his face. So here she comes coming up to my face. I said, don't touch me. Oh, don't take no pictures of my brother. I said, oh, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why every time he comes around, some shit is always happening in my house. That's how I knew he was the brother. Then he went after, guess who? He went after the Gorgas in New Jersey. The Gorgas. All of them, not just him. He lives in New Jersey with his girlfriend. So she calls, Reyes told her, use the connection. She calls her brother, because he does surveillance also. And he went over to Melissa Gorga and started setting up cameras around Melissa Gorga. Yes. Because Melissa has a store. And they want Melissa's goods. You understand? They want all her delivery. So if she's ordering name brand shit, they hold up the delivery. They find something that looked like name brand. Well, Joey put an end to that real quick. Because I notified her husband and I told him. I said, people in Brooklyn is pimping your wife. Then they started going after the YouTubers that's making money. They're scavengers. And then they ended up in Jamie. A lot of you outside's not going to believe, but the insiders know. So you have to go after Mr. Reyes and his family. He is Joey for Cars on Instagram. Joey, the number 4, CARS. One word on Instagram. I think it's 1380. Joey for Cars 1380 with the 3 Puerto Rican flags. That's him. Go after him. Know his family. Don't stop until you break him. You understand? Don't stop. If you find out anybody is helping him, go after them. That's what they do. Because the other day, my son ordered some food. He calls the restaurant and told them to add $3 on the restaurant. This restaurant getting on the thing. So I called the deli, Hero Champs Deli. So I called them. I'm like, no, first I went on the internet and I looked for the menu. I called my son. What did you order? That turned out for almost $15. He said, I just ordered a turkey and cheese and egg with a Snapple. I said, okay. So I went down the menu. I said, that should have been, what, $5, $6. Reyes and Alvarine ordered some food, and they went to pick it up later. And then the next time, because I called the restaurant, Reyes want a kickback of everything. So at the end of the week, because my son works in the area, he works for the city, he works for the area, he works for transportation, so he got to go for breakfast. You understand? And he went and he paid for the card, and they added on money, and then later Reyes or Alvarine go pick up their kickback. I called the restaurant and I asked them the thing. So right now, they're getting ready to be shut the fuck down. Because I asked you nicely, and you want to act like I'm stupid. And if you want to add on more money on my credit card because and you want to help these people, you're going to lose your business. You're going to lose your business. I asked you nicely to stop. Then when I call you, you want to give me false, fake prices. You don't want to stop, so you're going to lose your business. Plain and simple. Because I asked you nicely, don't do it. But a lot of, once I'm not saying all Spanish, but what happened, they're using the Spanish community and telling lies and saying that we don't like them so they can get friends. So one day I called for some money of mine, $350,000. I was trying to get. It's my money, so I was trying to get it. So she's giving me a whole bunch of explanations why I can't get it, or I can't get all of it. Why? Because many times they took me to court and they lost all the time. So they doing their own little court process, meaning, yeah, the judge ain't give me nothing. I'm going to take money out of you. You understand? And these people are helping. So the lady, she was trying to talk me out of taking the money, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're going to do this. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. I'm like, well, I'm a bit familiar with finances and stuff like that. So when I file my taxes, I know. Oh, but we got to take it first before. She was telling me a whole bunch of stuff. So she's telling me I'm going to lose $100,000 in my money. I'm like, oh, really? You think you that cute to be trying to make me? So I said, okay. So I made some calls. So the next time she's like, Miss G, I'm sorry, but, they threatened my job and they threatened this. So by the time they found out I was calling the agency to get my money, they already scheduled who they want. And it was all somebody Spanish. Who they want to be my rep. You understand? Always. So finally she broke down and she told me, she said, Miss G, I'm sorry, but they threatened me and my family. So I said, okay. So now I know I wasn't crazy. I know I was doing my calculations, right? And I thank her because, it's a scary thing for your family to be harassed. It's a scary thing for your life to be But like I tell the cops, go on vacation. Do you, son? Go have fun. Because I don't consider them cops. I don't. A cop is somebody who is law abiding and do within the scope of your job. When you come and use your badge to shake me down or threaten my life or whatever, you're not a cop to me. You're just a civilian with a badge. So whatever goes on or whatever goes down with you on the streets is fair game. Fair game in my book. You understand? So I'm like, oh, you want to be bad in Brooklyn? Okay, well, enjoy your vacation. Plain and fucking simple. So the 69th precinct is don't like me. I don't give a fuck. You understand? I tried giving you everything for you to do your job. You don't want to fucking do it. So fuck y'all. So I'm with Yandy. You understand? I want the job. I want the government to close down PD. That's me. I want them to shut the fuck down. They not using their jobs to they harassing law-abiding citizens for their money, for their connections. Yeah, so that call came all the way down from Brooklyn. Joseph Reyes. He called whatever, and he called the cops. They made the arrangements. Yeah. That's how they do it. When he can't call a clique or if he don't know somebody up in wherever, like in California, he would call the cops, and the cops would find somebody, or a family member know somebody. Just like with Miami, with the stalkers in Miami, they called because one of his sisters live in Miami. So he called the sister. And all you see, and in Miami, you can't really tell because it's a Spanish town. All of a sudden, I'm watching YouTube, a whole bunch of Spanish people around this YouTuber, the Chic Maven. I'm gonna tell her name. You understand? She buys a lot of expensive things. So they started stalking her. So Jamie was just one of the people. But there's a lot of us being like that, being threatened and stuff like that, and being stalked. Their thing is stalking. So what they do, they break into your house, they put in secret cameras, and they download listening devices on your phones and trackers and stuff. So what do you got to do? You got to find somebody you can trust. Don't talk it. Type it out on your phone. You tell the person. Don't save it. And you say, please go get me a new phone. That's what you have to do. Because if you try to go get it cleaned, there's somebody waiting for you, a tech advisor waiting for you, and not gonna clean the phone. Because right now, they keep telling me go to Apple. And at first I wanted to go, but I know it's not until all these people are checked. Check mean put in check. Then me going to Apple is just a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time because they already have somebody that is going to be cleaning my phone. You understand? They already have somebody there waiting for me to come. And they're going to act like, because one time I went to T-Mobile with my son. And in Gateway Plaza, that's in Brooklyn. And I've been going there for years. When I go in, I see a whole bunch of Indians and Spanish. And they did it so nicely. The lookout was outside, saw me coming, parking my car. She kept going back and forth. And when she went in is when I was on my way in. So she plopped in front of me. That's their code. Her code, because she wore a bright red jacket. You understand? Because she had to wear it bright. That was their code. So her code was to get in front of me, to let them know the person behind me is the mark. Because they have their code. They have their code. Simple and subtle. Sometimes the people will say, oh, excuse me, can I get in front of you? Because They're telling the person the mark is behind me. So anytime somebody come pull up and say, oh, can I just skip the line? I just want to get something real quick, or tell them something. Say, no, get in the back of me. Don't let them pass you. Don't be nice anymore because they're marking you. Simple stuff like that. To skip a line. Because they're the mark. Go in front of the person. That's the mark. When they go up to you, when they go up to the front, they ask some stupid question. Or if they're trying to drag off the time, they would run in front of you. Go there. And because what happened, when you out, they at your house. So they're killing time for that person who's at your house doing whatever. Hooking shit up. You know? So you got to know the signs, ladies and gentlemen, within our club. You got to know the signs. We have to go after Mr. Reyes. We got anybody on this block, except me, and a couple of two others. But I already give you the addresses. 2 Matthews, 4 Matthews, 6A Matthews, that plot. Oh, yeah. That plot with that silver thing on it, has computer stuff in it. Across the street, it has, what is that thing you put on top for cable? Yeah. It's pointing right on this block, getting information. You understand? Yes. All that. So just be aware. Change all your electronics. I tried resetting. I tried deleting everything on my electronics. Whatever they got on there is stuck on there. They have to do a master reset when you go into Apple or Samsung or whatever. A master reset. You can't just do a regular reset where it cleans out, where you think it's wiping out everything. It's going to say, well, if you do a reset, you're going to lose everything. Whatever they download on your phone, it's still going to be there. I reset it and erased everything on nothing disappeared. Nothing. You understand? And as far as your location, keep your location off when you at night, when you're in your house and stuff like that, because they're tracking to see where you're in your house. So if you fall asleep or whatever, they know what side of the house to come through, just in case they need something or have to reinstall their secret cameras. So therefore, up until you get some peace, you're going to have to weekly check. And this is going to sound prejudicial, but don't let no Spanish person come be your check. Because they're putting pressure on the Spanish community to help them. You understand? And these people have families. So they're not going to say no when they're being threatened. So that's why I said no, because Reyes is using all his Spanish connections. Not to say the rest of them is not, but, you know, and all the Indian thing. Let me tell you what the Indians are doing now. You see all the apps, that thing? These big, rich Indian guys up in India is paying all these programmers, because a lot of Indians are programmers in other countries, like the U.S., and they make up some of these apps. You understand? What they doing, these big billionaire Indian guys in India is paying them to put in a program where they siphon money out of everybody's wallets. It could be as little as 5 cents. It could be, if you're a millionaire yourself, it could be something under $100. So can you imagine that everybody in the world who has a program that's programmed by India, they're trying to put it off on China, that an Indian person made is getting money siphoned out of your account. That's why I check my account every day to the penny, because they figure you're not going to miss a couple of pennies. And if the bank has 1,000 clients and 2 pennies disappear each day or each week, they know. So what they doing now, I used to get 0.50% on my dollar. Now I get 0.1%. They took away 49%. The night manager went into the account and did that. And sometimes you're thinking you're on the right website. They duplicated some of the websites. A lot of things is going on. A lot of things is going on. So try to click on the website through that says advertisement through Google. All the other websites underneath it, it's a crapshoot. But when you type in looking for a website, get the one that says add Google, because I didn't want to click on those, because every time you click on those, the person gets charged, and I didn't want to put the charge on the company. If I'm just looking for some information, I'm not buying anything on the site. So I was trying to save that company money, but sometimes I would go into all these fake websites, and they look the same. They look the same. You would swear. Like right now, if I call T-Mobile or if I call my insurance company, you'll swear that I'm talking to those people, but I'm talking to spammers in a call center, because what they do, they duplicate the sound, the waiting sound, and they duplicate everything about that. But you know what gives it away? And they probably try to go fix it now, but it's going to be hard if it's a tape recorder. You know when they say, well, press 3 if you want this, and press 2 if you want this, and you're there pressing, and it doesn't go nowhere, it just keeps talking, that's when you know you're connected to a spam connection. That's not the real company. That's not the real company. You understand? Check your electricity to see if your neighbor is not getting some of your electricity. Because right now I live by myself, and my bill since February? My bill since February is 2,000 something. Meanwhile, my bill is supposed to be $100 and something, but all of them is connected to my bill. And somebody in Con Ed, the manager, it's usually the manager is putting in whatever. Well, this is from our machine. We see it right here, Miss G. And the reading says this is your reading. Well, it could well be, but all of them is connected to my house. You understand? So, when was the last time they paid a bill? You understand? And then they have their helpers, the gardener, with the one guy in there who knows electricity and stuff like that. So they pay him or have sex with him, in her case, and to hook up the electricity. Be careful. Pray for Jamie Foxx. You understand? Find out who it is. Don't matter who it is. And clean them out financially. Give them no job, no work, nothing. Watch your credit cards. And change all your electronics. If you find something funny is going on, and you think somebody's hearing you, and change your you don't do it. You have somebody else do it, because they waiting for you to go to the store to pick it up, or they waiting for you to have somebody deliver it, or UPS or something. The UPS driver's in on it. You know, I saw on TV. I saw on one of the YouTubers, the UPS driver delivered it, and 2 minutes later. No, not even 2 minutes. 1 minute later, somebody came and picked it up. Right on camera. Because the UPS guy set it up. Because he has to tell them, I delivered it. I did my job. He can't put it down and then pick it back up. So he had his buddy follow him. He delivered the package, and then the buddy came and picked it up, and they left. That's what happened. And that's what happens. So if you're missing packages, that's what's going on. The UPS, the FedEx, the USPS, things, find out. But it stemmed from Mr. Reyes, Joey FOXX, and 69th Precinct in Brooklyn. It stemmed from them. And somebody is doing, but go after the whole family. Go after the whole 69th. Whenever they go on vacation. If you got connections and you know how to find out cops' information, find it. When they go on vacation, tell everybody. That's what you do. You stalk them because they stalking us. You put stuff in their car, in their home, and whatever. Do that. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. You have a good day. Bye for now.